So again, what we are doing here, we're just looking at these values and then just putting the references for each one of them except for the number of payments. Now we click on OK, and basically what we are doing in the first payment, we are paying $133 in interest. Now, think about it this way. If you're buying a $300,000 house, for example, in Langhorne, that's what houses go for, and you're getting a loan for $300,000, and you're paying 8% interest rate. Now, of course, this comes in to be very expensive because you see this is only for 5 years. Usually the mortgages are for 30 years. So you hit enter there. So at 8%, if you have bad credit, a $300,000 house without any additional taxes or anything, it's going to be $2,201. Now your interest on that first payment for $300,000, it's going to be $2,000, and you're paying basically the principal only $200, actually $201. Now if you have good credit, and this is where it comes in handy, if you have, let's say you get an interest rate of 4%, notice that it will go, the payment will go from $2,200, I change it to 4%, it goes to $1,400. And that's why the interest rate and your credit score is important. And notice that on that first month's interest payment, it's going to be only $1,000 rather than $2,000. So if you wanted to get something, let's say for $200,000 house, this will be your payment, $954, and that will be your interest payment on the first month. Now if you wanted, say, the payment on, let's say for 30 years, it's going to be 320 and 360 payments, because they're 30 times 12, it's 360. Let's say on the fifth payment how much you're going to be paying for interest. So let's say 5, and now it's 829. It's less than the first month. Now it's 829. First month it was 833, so you're kind of getting it less. Now let's calculate the principal payments. So the principal, notice it is PPMT, it's the rate, the number, and then number of payments, and then the present value. So we go here under insert function, we choose PPMT, click OK, and then the rate, it's this one, which we can change it at any point. PER, let's say the first payment. Then we want the NPER, that's that one, the basically the number of payments. Present value is the loan, and then click OK. So basically all you have to do here is notice that IPMT, the interest payment, it's these values as we defined earlier, and for the PPMT, all you have to do is use the same formula, but just change the function to PPMT. So notice PPMT B51, so for payment number 1, and then 7 is the number of payments per year, and then 8 is that. So basically what it's saying here is that the first payment for your mortgage of $200,000, it's going to be only of $240. If you had the more at 5%, if that was at 8%, then it would be this much, only $134. Now, so basically that's some of the concepts in financial calculations and financial functions here. There's lots of them, and you could Google this stuff, you could check them out for yourselves, either from the help menu over here, or as you're inserting the functions, depending on what you're trying to do. Unfortunately, we will not be able to learn all of these things in this class. In this session, I'm going to just briefly cover pivot tables. We're not going to go too much in depth with them, but I just want to make sure that I mention them and that you are somewhat acquainted with using them. Let's say that we have here some data in an Excel workbook here. Pivot tables are a fast and powerful way to analyze data. So basically you can summarize it. It's also used in business intelligence on determining and making decisions and things of that nature. So what it allows you to do is to look at data from all kinds of different angles and sort through it and manipulate it in all kinds of different ways. So the way it works is that you select the data, and then what you do is you click on Insert, and then you choose Pivot Table. So you choose Pivot Table on the drop down here, and then you can create what's a new worksheet. At this point you click OK, and now it's going to build your table depending on how you filter and how you sort things out here, for example. So let's say I want the recruiter here. Notice all the recruiters are posted. Now let's say that I want to see the contract, and notice they have a contract, yes or no. Let's say I don't want the contract there, but I want that as one of the filters. So I leave that alone as a filter. Now I go, let's say, under the start date. Notice it gives me the date, then the job number, and the location. So notice it's organized in this way by name of the person, the location, and so on. But suppose that I don't want it that way, it doesn't meet my needs for one reason or another. You can simply change that. So let's say we don't want the date here. We want to put the date on the very top as the first. Actually, not the date, but the location. Now notice it's summarizing and resorting the data based on that location. So we have Portland, San Francisco, and so on. Now you have also FTE, yes or no. So you could use these. Now notice up here under contracts you could have yes or no. So you have these drop downs. So you click on yes, and you want to see only the yes contracts. And now you have the locations, you have the names of the persons, you have the dates, and so then you can go back here and add additional fields like the salary level. And notice the salary level, it goes 75 and so on. Now the salary level, you could go over here and put the salary level as one of your filters. So notice now that I chose this as a filter, I could go and say I want the salary level to only 55, and then click OK, and now it lists me only the people that meet that criteria, but that yet the layout is depending on what you're looking for. So again, basically you just have to tinker with the data here, and notice as you move things around, then this data gets displayed in a variety of different other ways. So let's say I wanted the date now first. Now notice it's sorted a different way. So it's a very powerful way of looking at things and analyzing data from all kinds of different angles, and it's a matter of actually playing with it. So again, it's powerful. Try it for yourself if you have data at some point that you are analyzing and looking at it from all kinds of ways.